Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Future Talks conducted by Prayaana Labs. My name is Chelsea Sunil, and I'll be host for the day. Now, I'm going to begin with an introduction to Prayaana. Prayaana is a unique employability, entrepreneurship, and innovation ecosystem for women. Prayaana Labs give wholesome career support services right from career counseling, training, mentoring, and recruitment services, all coming under one umbrella. So do check us out at www.prayana.org. And in case you like what you see, please feel free to join us by registering at prayana.in or by downloading the Prayana app. Now, this is basically a community hub. It's a place where women can get together, share their ideas, their thoughts, and even their queries with women of similar interests. The idea behind the platform was to create a space where women can get together despite their geographical locations and boundaries. Now, we will be launching hubs in each of your locations so that you guys can get together, organize events, and even go on ventures together. So, don't forget to download the Prayana app. Now, this is Prayaana Collective. Prayaana Collective is a venture of Prayaana. It is unique in the attribute that it is India's first e-commerce platform that is dedicated to the empowerment of women. The platform is uniquely designed with an attractive affiliate marketing model where all the customers are given an opportunity for lifetime savings and earnings. So, in case you're looking for authentic handmade products, we have plenty of those made by extremely talented women. So be sure to check us out at www.praco.com. Now, before we go into the session, let me tell you that in case during the session you guys have any queries, please feel free to post it as a comment in the live chat box below, and we'll get back to you at the end of the session. Now, today's session is why healing from negative emotions is critical to our health. The session is going to be taken by Tazeen Kadri, nationally qualified EFT practitioner from EFT International. She has done her master's in psychotherapy from the University of Mumbai. EFT or emotional freedom technique is a therapy modality based on the premise that all physical ailments are a result of a negative emotion that is stuck in us. When we let go of the negative emotion, the health problem leaves our body. She has made her life's mission to spread awareness about this theory through her seminars and lectures in various places and online presence on social media platforms. She is also a consulting therapist and has facilitated healing her clients from problems ranging from anxiety, depression, to phobias, to skin diseases, and all forms of pain and physical ailments. A very warm welcome to the show, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you for the introduction, Chelsea. It's nice to hear about yourself from someone else's mouth. It sounds like praise. And thank you, Prayaana, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic. It's really very encouraging. Now, the topic that I chose to speak on is quite sensitive. Why healing from negative emotions is so critical to our health. The first thing I want to say is a disclaimer. I want to say that I don't mean to say that if you have negative emotions, that means you're a negative person or a bad person, and that something is wrong with you or that you need to change yourself. And this is not a spiritual speech also, which I'm intending to make or trying to preach you to change yourself and become a saint. We are only humans, and it is just natural to have negative emotions or emotions, just to have emotions, any kind of emotions. But sometimes we have emotions which are not very nice to feel, like anger, jealousy, guilt, or hurt, or what happens to us at that moment, that when we are experiencing that emotion is because of which it causes some changes in our body. And over a period of time, it can the way we react to that emotions further, not just in that moment, that emotion which carries on for the entire maybe that hour, the day, throughout the day, or throughout a month or a week or so. It can cause immense damage to our body also. I mean, the list is endless. It can cause stress, it can cause anxiety, it can cause depression, or any kind of physical problem like a headache or a body ache. So the list is endless. We all are aware that how a negative emotion can cause damage to our body and our system, and how if we keep on thinking of a particular emotion, how it disrupts our health. Now the having that emotion in that particular time or moment of anger or hurt, guilt, is okay in that moment. Now the biggest cause of concern comes when that particular emotion you're holding on to a long period of time. Like if somebody hurt you, said something which with some words which hurt you, and you are now holding on to that particular statement which he or she said, like it's replaying in your mind constantly. Why she said this to me, or why did he accuse me of such and such a thing, or why she's so mean, and he's so bad, he shouldn't have said this to me, and I should have said this, and I should have done that. Doesn't it constantly play in our mind that I should have said this in that situation, I should have done this in that situation? It keeps on replaying in our mind. Now what happens is the hurt is not just once, not just twice, but many times over. I'm not saying that you should stop feeling that hurt, and to be hurt is just natural. Like I'm at present talking about this feeling of resentment which we have mostly. Uh, that is the biggest emotion we feel uh, when we encounter a situation, and then we are thinking about it again and again. So it is okay to feel a particular emotion. Um, just allow yourself to feel what you feel, forgive yourself for feeling that way, and then let go. It's okay to hold on till a certain time, but holding on for a longer period of time, then that causes a problem. It's like, a wise man once said that, holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Okay, so it just hurts you, and to forgive the person is so important that you need to forgive someone, not because that person deserves the forgiveness, but because you deserve your peace of mind. So now how do you do that? How do you let go of that particular emotion? So now, since I'm talking particularly about resentment and forgiveness, I want to go further and tell you how it profoundly impacts our health. I want to talk about a case study which I did last year on a person. She is my friend. She's a very good friend of mine, and she had this skin disease. It's called lichen planus. Okay, it's a medical term, and in lichen planus, what happens is that you have purple bumps all over your body, and they are like boils, and which burst after a period of time, and then she you have this scratchy feeling on the bumps, and then they become permanent marks on the body. So she had this all over her body, and she had this problem since 22 years. So I started therapy with her last year, and what happened was we had 2 sessions of an hour each, 2 sessions of an hour each, so a total of 2 hours. And through consultation, I found out that what her problem was, what she was holding on to, was a very old uh, resentment, you could say, of a family problem she had, and she was told to get out of the house by her brother-in-law, and that she couldn't forgive that person till now. So through the session, I found this about her, and we started EFT on this. So what I'm actually telling you about is the EFT session which I had with her, this therapy which I do, emotional freedom technique. So as the term itself says, EFT, emotional freedom. You get rid of the emotion that you're feeling, that particular negative emotion, and the disease leaves your body. As Chelsea, you said it in the introduction itself. I wanted this to be there in the introduction so that people are really impressed with this therapy. Okay, so now my friend, we had the session twice, and it's not that we preach people to forgive someone. We are just let them experience the emotion, what they feel, and then we ask them how they would like to go further with this. And just in 2 sessions, she herself decided that she needed to forgive the person and let go of it. And a problem of 22 hours got cured in 2 hours. 2 hours is all the total time that we took. And now she's perfectly fine. Yeah, this therapy is not just like a temporary, not just fast and easy and effective, it's permanent. The changes are permanent. And she felt fantastic. And now she has no problem of lichen planus. And she's fine. And it has the scratchiness, the itchiness in her body, and the bumps that used to come are perfectly okay. Now she doesn't have those bumps at all. Just imagine 22 years ka problem. And now she's fully cured. So that's what is the effect of our negative emotion. That's how even I learned a lesson while having therapy with her, that it affects your body so profoundly that if you are not ready to let go of the resentment, it is affecting your body. And that person, whoever said something to you or did something to you, that person has just said it and left, and that person is just carrying on with their life. But now you are suffering because you are thinking about it. You are holding on to that emotion of that anger, of that resentment, and of feeling hurt. So it's just affecting you. So now I want to speak about the therapy which I do, because I can go on and on talking about how negative emotions affect your life. But we'll just be focusing on the problem and not on the solution. So the solution which best I have found in my experience is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. This therapy is very simple, easy to do, and very effective. Like I said, it's new to India. People hardly know about it. When I speak about EFT, people ask me, is it like Reiki? Is it like energy healing? Is it like something? They compare it to something. But this is totally different. It's come from the West, from the US. Its founder is Roger Callahan, who invented this technique while working on his patient, Mary, who had this phobia of water. She was afraid of water. So he used to take sessions with her, and he tried every technique with her, psychotherapy, he tried counseling, and many therapies. And then he found that Mary used to say that whenever I see water, I feel stomach pain. So it struck to Roger Callahan that the point for stomach pain is here, right below your eye. If you press here, then your stomach pain goes away. So he asked her to press this point. And likewise, he found that there are some certain points on your body which if you tap on, there are some points on the face, on the collarbone, under your arm also, and on top of your head. You say certain statements, and then you tap along with it. It totally rewires your mind. It rewires your brain. So what happened was, when Mary did tap on this particular point, her stomach pain went away, and along with that, her phobia also went away. Her phobia of being scared of water, and that's how he resolved this issue, and that's how this therapy got invented about around 30 years back. So I just don't want to go more into details of how this therapy developed over the years. But now, after after Roger Callahan, there's Gary Craig, his student, who is now preaching and practicing this therapy. He's still alive. And you can learn more about him from his website, emofree.com. Okay. So why I'm such a big fan of this therapy is that I have done lot many case studies, which I had to do because for my certification requirements, I had to do about around 56 case studies, and I completed them around 3 months back. And I've done lot many case studies since then. And I've seen results, fantastic results in my own family. My own son has recovered from his stammering problem in just about 10 days, 10 minutes each. We used to sit down and do this therapy, and he's fantastic now. He's totally cured from it. I could help my mother-in-law get rid of her back pain, and myself from spondylitis. And there are many wonderful cases so far. So let's just dive into this therapy. I want to just show you its effectiveness. I'll just tell you in brief how it's done. There are certain points on your face. Chelsea, can you please share the slide? Okay, these are some points on which you have to tap on. Okay. Yeah. Okay, come back to me, please. Yeah, so the first point is here. At the start of your eyebrow, you use 2 fingers of your hand or this hand, okay? And you tap like this. Then you tap on the side of your eyebrow, okay, near your temple. Then under your eye, like this, under your nose, under your mouth, on your collarbone, then under your arm, 4 inches below your armpit. It's 4 inches below your armpit. And then on the top of your head, like this. So this completes one round of tapping. It's called tapping in common words because you're actually tapping on some acupressure points on your face, on your collarbone. Now this therapy, what it does is that any problem that you have anxiety, you have depression, and whatever the reason behind it, or someone has hurt you, hurt your feelings, you're going to say those statements while tapping on these points. And what it does is directly changes your subconscious, it reaches to your subconscious level and it rewires it totally. It's like, for example, if you want to lose weight and you're trying really hard to lose weight, and you have just thought, I'm going to stay off gulab jamuns from now on, I just can't touch them. And then your willpower goes on for a few days, and then you go to a party and there you see a big dish of gulab jamuns, and then you can't just resist them, and you indulge. So that is the end of the story. You have indulged in the gulab jamuns, and your whole willpower of losing weight has now dropped. And so what happens is, when you say statements to yourself, you say, okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to be firm on myself. It works till a certain extent, and then you lose control at some point. It happens most of the time. Only people with some high willpower can only manage to go through the entire process of losing weight and sticking to the schedule and all that. But most of the time we just lose control. But when you tap and you say statements to your self, you're saying some statements to yourself, what is true to you, your subconscious, it changes to your subconscious mind. And then whatever you say to you, whatever you command to your subconscious mind, that holds true for you. And you can just program it that way. You can just program it like your subconscious mind is 95% of your brain. Yeah. So 5% is only just your conscious mind. That what you tell to yourself. Okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And you try to be firm to yourself. But no, 95% is that old recording which you have since your childhood, your old beliefs, your old system of thinking, your old ways of reacting to situations, reacting to certain people, what experiences you have gone through with them. So that's how it works. So what I want to do is we'll start with a session of tapping with you on a particular topic, which I have decided, like when you focus on the negative, on feeling negative, and you're just not feeling positive about things, then how can you tackle that problem with EFT, with tapping? Okay. So what I want to do, everyone who's watching me live here, is that just try to feel that at present, how negative are you feeling? From a 0 to 10 scale, 0 meaning you don't feel negative at all, and 10 means you feel a lot negative at present about a particular situation in your life. Just think of a particular current situation in your life which is going on and how you're feeling about it. Okay, and we'll tap on that particular emotion. And 10 means the highest, you're feeling a lot negative about it. 5 or 6 would be like, okay, 50-50, as tarah se. And 8, 9 would be a very a high level still. So just give yourself a number from 0 to 10, how you're feeling about a particular situation at present which is bothering you. Okay, and just write that number in the comments for me, please. So that would be a very nice interactive session. And then after the session, we are going to see the scale again and evaluate how we are feeling after the session. Okay, so has that number changed? This scale is very important. It's called the SUDS, subjective emotion. At present, we are distress level, which is very important to know whether we have any improvement or not. We are feeling any improvement after doing the tapping or not. So write down for me a number from 0 to 10 of how you're feeling about a particular situation in your life which is bothering you at present, from 0 to 10. Okay. If there are any queries, I will answer them after the session, because yeah. Okay, I'll answer the questions at the end of the session. Right now, just go with the flow and let's start tapping. Okay, so now if you have thought of a number, even if you have not typed in the comments, or you just remember the number which you have given to yourself, and let's start tapping. Okay, so the points which I told you, I'll just revise the points with you. First point is here on the eyebrow, side of the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, on the collarbone, underarm, and on top of your head. Okay, so we are starting with the tapping. Okay, say it along with me and do the steps along with me. Okay, Chelsea, you too. It's okay for me to feel negative. Just repeat after me. It's okay for me to feel negative. In order to feel effective, to effectively deal about it, there are times when I don't need to feel negative. There is so much good all around me. And I choose to see the good on the planet. I choose to see the good in people, instead of seeing what's wrong on top of the head. I choose to look for what's right, including what's right for myself. I'm clearing stuff right now. I'm clearing out old emotions. I'm clearing out old hurts. I'm clearing out old angers on the collarbone. Okay? And all that old uncomfortable stuff under them. Okay? That has made me feeling negative. So now I'm allowing myself to focus on what's good, to focus on the good things. I'm allowing myself to feel good. And the more good I feel, the more good I see around me. I'm choosing to see the positive, on focus on the positive, and feeling positive in every emotion that I feel. Take a deep breath and let go. Okay, so now, okay, there is one glitch that I made. We'll tap together again, okay?
Okay.
We'll tap again. There was some mistake on my part. Okay, yeah, first is this karate chop point, okay? This is a karate chop point. You can use either of your hand, this hand or this hand. So say it along with me. Even though I often focus on the negative, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I focus on the negative, I choose to love myself anyway. Even though I focus on what's wrong and what's bad for me, and I miss out on all the good stuff, I still choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I focus on the negative, I choose to love myself, honor and accept myself for the way I feel. This need of mine to focus on the negative, this need to look for what's wrong, this may feel silly at the moment because I'm tapping on something negative rather than focusing on positive. I choose to clean up what's inside me right now. And right now it's negative. I need to clean it all up. It's okay for me to feel negative. In order to effectively deal with it. There are times when I don't need to feel negative. There is so much good all around me. And I choose to see the good. I choose to see the good on the planet. I choose to see the good in other people. Instead of looking for what's wrong. I choose to look for what's right. Including what's right in me. And I'm clearing stuff right now. I'm clearing stuff right now. Clearing old emotions. Clearing old hurts. Clearing old anger. And all the uncomfortable stuff inside me. That has made me feeling negative. So now I'm allowing myself to focus on the good. To focus on the good things. I'm allowing myself to feel good. And the more I feel good, the more good I see in other people. I'm choosing to focus on the positive. All the positive feelings. In every emotion that I feel. Now stop tapping. Take a deep breath through the nose. and leave it through your mouth. And just feel as though that negative emotion inside you, that negative thinking you are having of a particular situation is just leaving you. Okay. Now let's get back to the number. Just rate yourself from 0 to 10, how you're feeling about that particular situation, or if you had a particular feeling about something, some thought that was going around your mind. What number would you give from 0 to 10? Just think about it. Is it still the same? Has it increased? Maybe has it decreased? What's it for you, Chelsea?
It's definitely decreased considerably. It has decreased, just decreased.
Decreased,
yeah.
na? Decreased,
It has
yeah.
decreased,
Oh my God. For a moment, I thought you said increased. Okay, so what was the number before?
It was at 5.
Don't say to please me, okay?
No, it was
Let's
at 5.
be very honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at 5.
5.
And now it's at a?
It's at a 3.
Okay, great. So in just 5 minutes of tapping, you have decreased the feeling that you had. So just imagine if you were to do it for some time, like now we have limited time, we have constraint of time, so we can't do it for a long period. But if you had more time and you could do it more often, at least for 10 minutes in a day, at least for 10 minutes in a day, this should be done on any particular emotion that you're feeling or something which is bothering you, and just say statements which is true to you. What I did currently was just saying some general statements, which is true for most people, you know, like what could we think of some old hurt, some old anger, and some old emotions that you're letting go. You want to see the positive in people. You want to see the positive on the planet for everyone. Feel the good on the planet. So these were general statements. There could be something which you must be feeling in particular about a particular person or something. They said something to you. So you can just go on and you start off the session with saying whatever you're feeling. We are not doing positive affirmations where you just have to totally not accept what you're feeling, negative. Here, the beauty of this therapy is that you first have to admit whatever you're feeling, what currently you're feeling. It's like, you know, why are you saying negative statements? You may feel that, why should I say negative statements? Am I putting this in my subconscious mind that, okay, I'm feeling anger, I'm feeling resentment or something. But it's not that. It's like, you know, it's a dirty house full of dust and cobwebs and everything. Unless and until you see the cobwebs, you see the dirt, and how can you clean the mess? You must first see the dirt to clean it. So whatever you're feeling right now, you must just feel it, admit it. Like if you go to a doctor, you'll have to first tell what your problem is. And only then your doctor can help you figure out, will help with the solution for the problem and give you medication accordingly. So now what I want to say further with this is that you do this for at least 10 minutes a day. And if you can do it more than once, you can do twice, thrice, many times. There are a few practitioners who would recommend a laser focus approach. Like you do it every 2 hours. If there is something really bothering you, then you do it after every 2 hours on the particular problem you're facing. Like if you have a particular problem where someone has said something to you and you're deeply hurt by it. So you could just start off by saying, oh my God, this lady said this to me and it's really mean of her. She shouldn't have done this to me. Just go on, whatever is going on in your head, keep on tapping on the points and just go on saying the statements which you're feeling, whatever is going inside your head. Okay. And like this, you do it for a few rounds. It's not necessary that it should be 4 rounds or 5 rounds only. It can be as long as you want. The session can be as long as you want till you're feeling better about the situation. What you can do is that after a few rounds, you can just stop tapping and just try to feel the number of the level at which you're feeling, the SUDS level, whether it has reduced or not for you. Okay. And you will find that whatever problem you are having, at least if nothing, if there is, you're not feeling bad, at least you will feel much lighter. Now, this session also, which we did just for 5 minutes, you're going to find that by the end of the day, now till bedtime, like it's already going to be 9 now, and you would have your dinner and then go to bed. You will find that you're feeling much lighter in your heart, in your body, and there is something which has shifted for you, and you're feeling much more positive than before. And if you had a particular ache or pain, even that must be feeling better. You can do this therapy for any problem you can think of any physical ailment, like I told you of the lady who had the skin problem, or for an anxiety issue, depression, or for a emotional problem like anger, hurt, guilt. You have guilt about something, you just can't forget that particular incident in which you feel you have done wrong. So you just tap on that and you will feel better. What happens in life is that we can't change the situation around us. We can't change others. What we can do is we can just change our feeling towards it. Right? Okay. And lastly, I just want to say that during this therapy, sometimes what happens is that, which I said, that we say generalized statements. Here we said some general statements, which is true for most people. But for some people, it could be that while tapping, suddenly an old memory has come up for you. Some old memory, some old long held trauma has come up. Like for my friend, uh, she could remember the incident that happened long back for her while tapping. So what happened for her is that this problem, the root cause was that particular emotion of anger and resentment which she had. And when she let go of that resentment, she could cure herself from the skin problem. So when a deep, long-held trauma comes up, then it's best to seek help of a professional, like of a practitioner, and seek their guidance as to what could be done further for your problem. Okay, so that is one thing. So I just want to end my session saying that it's okay to feel negative, but it's great to just let go. You know, even the law of attraction says that you just say whatever you desire. Okay, I want my dream car. You just say and you just let it out in the universe, and then let the universe do their job. You have to let go of that desire so that the universe acts upon it. The power of the universe, the power which is above all of us, God, or whatever you call him, the source, let him handle this problem for you. Let him, you just let go of that particular emotion and let everything good come to you. And it will definitely will. That's all.
Okay, ma'am. So now we just go into the question and answer session.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first question is, Tazeen, the tapping process should be done for how many times? And is there any particular order?
Okay, so the order is you start off with the karate chop point.
Mm.
And you say, even though I feel this particular emotion, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. This is the basic setup point which we say, the setup statement. Why is this important? Is that just when you start off with this, that even though I have this certain problem, I love and accept myself. What you're doing is you just, when you say to yourself that you love yourself, your body is all attention. It is so happy to hear that you are saying this to it, that you love it. Okay, and it's all yours. If you say a child, first you appreciate a child, and then you want to correct a certain behavior in them, then what would you do? You would first appreciate them, and you can correct the mistake. So that way, when you say to yourself that even though I am feeling anger towards so and so, even though I have this headache, even though I have this anxiety, even though I have this depression, I love and accept myself for the way I am, just the way I am. You're not judging yourself for feeling that particular emotion. You're just allowing that emotion to be. That way your body doesn't rebel against it. Like kaise hota hai ki if you want a particular thought to go away, you just don't want to think about something. The more you think about not having the thought, the more that thought comes into your head, and it doesn't let go of you. You're just obsessed with the thoughts. So you just allow them to be, you accept yourself, and you love yourself. You say that you love yourself. And how many times it's supposed to be done is that it's totally up to you. It depends on the complexity of the problem, of how deep your issue is. And sometimes it happens that within a session itself, people find drastic change in themselves. Like if a tooth, I read it somewhere, a person had a toothache for months and he was on medication, and then his medication just got over one fine day, and he thought that let me just try out this tapping, and let's see how I feel. And he started tapping that even though I have this toothache, I love myself. And he said, this toothache, it's really bothering me. And I just wanted to go away from my body. And he started saying it. He did a few rounds and the toothache went away and it never ever came back. Also, he didn't need any medication at all. So that's how it depends from person to person, the problem to problem, and how effective it is. For a certain problem, it may be very effective. For some, it may be a deep-rooted problem which you have, a deep-rooted emotion. So that could take time. So you must do it according to your requirements for how you feel after the session.
Now the next question, we want a few more questions. The next question is, can I change the hand to tap the points if I'm feeling pain in the other hand that I'm currently tapping with?
Yes, yes. You can change the points. Like I said, you can use this hand, you can use this side, whichever side you're comfortable with. You can change it within the round also. Like I do it myself. I feel it more effective that way. Otherwise, okay, just forget about that. It's not how it doesn't change the effectiveness. Actually, whichever side you do is perfectly fine. You can do it two sides also. That is also said. Some people do it that way, practitioners, but it doesn't affect your results in any way. Or if you do it hard or gently, that also doesn't have any effect. It all totally depends on the statements you say to yourself.
Okay. So the next question is, why connection?
Yeah, why?
Why only these, we tap on certain specific points, right?
Yeah. Why these points?
Why these points? Is there a connection to that?
Yeah. That's a very good question. And actually, I didn't go to those details because of the constraint of time that we have and how effective, why is it so effective? There's a lot. I mean, I can just go on and on about how is it that EFT is so effective and why these points only. I can just go on about this subject, but I didn't rush on that. I just, cleared on doing the therapy. So, yeah, so why these points is that these are the basic points which Roger Callahan decided that these are common for any problem that you have, and it's very effective. These are energy points in a body. We have over 1,000 of energy meridians in our body, energy points, which we call, nadi in Hindi culture, or in Chinese culture, it's called chi or energy. Chi means energy. Yeah. So these are energy points. And when you tap on these points, what you do is you just open up the energy the blocked energy in that particular point. And the energy is now free to move. And when it's free to move, and when you say some statements to yourself at this point, it has a totally amazing effect on your body. Yeah. It's like, a choked water pipe, it's blocked. And when you just put that drainage on it, in it, and it's just, the water flows easily. So that's how you are allowing your energy to flow easily. And it works wonders then on your body.
Okay, so this is our last question. Can heal migraine? I've been practicing, but not able to deal with the severe pain.
Severe pain, okay. For migraine, right? Yeah. So what you can do is that you just start saying statements, like I said, even though I feel this migraine pain, before you start, You just think of the number at which you're feeling currently. Just focus on how intensely you're feeling that pain in your body. So it could be an 8, 9 if it's very high, a lot of pain, or it could be a 10 also. And just start off with your tapping. Even though I feel this migraine pain, I love and accept myself. I love and honor myself. I love myself for the way I feel, for the pain that I have. Okay, and just start tapping and say that I allow this pain to go from my body. I'm feeling it at this much intensity. We as practitioners have a further advanced level of doing this, dealing with pain, where we even ask the client, if you're, what color is your pain? You can just think of the pain and how it makes you feel. How that pain makes you feel. Does it bring some emotion of anger or hurt or resentment, or I'm just stuck on anger and resentment because I feel that is the biggest problem that we are facing right now. Each and every one of us have it at some level or the other. But it could be some emotion that comes up for you, some particular emotion. So whatever that emotion comes up, and then we tap on that particular emotion. So EFT is on basically on the premise that every problem, every pain that you have is because of a stuck negative emotion which you're holding on to for a long time. So that pain also, there could be an emotion behind it. So you, when you start tapping and start feeling that pain, you will realize some emotion will come up for you, some old memory will come up for you. So you tap on that and say statements which are true for you. That, okay, this so and so thing happened in my life and that really disturbed me. You keep on saying whatever is coming to your mind, your thoughts.
Okay, ma'am. So yeah, ma'am, that was the last of our questions. With this, we're coming to an end to today's session. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you from me to Pranay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now we're going to go into the feedback session. Please post your feedback as a comment in the YouTube channel and we'll get back to you. Positive or negative ones, we'd like to know what you think. Now for advertisements or sponsorship, just drop a mail at joinprayaana@gmail.com. Now this is the poster for tomorrow. The tomorrow session is on topic 9 mental traps that trap you from being successful. Session is going to be taken by Priya Shivadas, who's the Mystic Coach. The session will also be from 8 to 9 p.m. just like today. Now this is basically a timetable for the coming week. I've already announced what is going to be happening on Friday, and on Saturday we have a session rewiring higher education, looking beyond the obvious to find pedagogical solutions. The session is going to be taken by Mr. Bhaviraj Nair, who is the chief mentor and founder of P2P Consulting. The session will also be from 8 to 9 p.m. So with that, we're coming to an end to today's session. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you, ma'am, for, again, for coming on the show. It was a really wonderful session. Now, to the viewers, don't forget to, subscribe to our channel and like our videos, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much and see you guys tomorrow.